Hello, this is part 2 of how to use Smart Notebook 11.4. So today we are going to take a look at how to manipulate objects on the Smart Notebook page. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to go to the gallery, because here's our page, page 1. I'm going to go to the gallery and I am going to find an image. So we'll find an image of a bird. So if you remember from part 1, I can just simply use my search to locate an image. So I clicked on search, and what you see down here, I have a couple of files that are related to birds. So I have 78 images of birds, and I have 7 interactive multimedia. I have notebook files and backgrounds and themes. So let's take a look at our pictures, and you can see anything that is related to a bird appears right here. So these are all of our images, and you can scroll through if you'd like just to see all 78. While we're in here, let's take a look at the interactive multimedia. Okay, and what you can see is we have images of birds that have sound. So right here lets us know that there's sound related to that image. Notebook files. So here is a screenshot of what a badminton field or table would look like. And then here we have a background of an owl. So I really don't want any of those other than my pictures. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to just find a picture of a cardinal. So I have my picture here, my image, and if you recall, when we have an image, I can't erase it. I'm going to bring up my eraser because remember I'm doing this on a computer with a mouse. But if a student was to pick up the eraser on the board, they can't actually erase this. That's a good thing. I'm going to click here to get out of that function. Now, I want to add just a little background color because I never like a white screen. So I'm going to click right over here on my tab, on my properties, and I'm just going to add a nice background color. Okay. So with that, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this bird here, and I want you to now see all of the different things we can do with this bird. Now, if I click on it, I can enlarge it. I can make it smaller. Okay, so I can make it fit to whatever size I want on my screen. So this looks fine to me. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to click on my drop down. Oh, and by the way, I can also spin the bird. Okay, very much, like Microsoft Word, if you have an image, you can move it in all different directions. So if I click on my drop down, this is where you're really going to be able to manipulate this image. So if I like this image, I can clone it, and voila, I have 2. Okay. I can cut, copy, and paste, and I can also delete. So those are things that you are already familiar with. I can set an infinite cloner. So if I click on infinite cloner, what it will do is it will make multiple images of this bird. So I can click and drag out as many images as I want. What's great about it is I don't have to keep going to clone or copy and paste. This is great if you're doing a really basic counting activity with some students, or if you were using this, if this was a square and you were using it as a manipulative for math, setting the actual infinite cloner makes it really nice for measuring and estimation. So I have infinite cloner on here. By clicking on it, you can see this is the symbol for infinite cloner. But I no longer want infinite cloner on this bird. So if I click on it, you'll see it says infinite cloner. I'll just click on it again. And now infinite cloner is no longer set on this bird. Now, if I click again, a couple of other things I can do is I can set a transparency. So I can click on the areas of the picture to make them transparent if I wanted to do that. To be honest, I rarely ever use this feature, but it is available if you want, and this is pretty self-explanatory. So if I wanted to, make something transparent, maybe make that tail a little transparent, I could do that. Okay. So going back to my drop-down box, another thing you may want to do is lock it in place so that if a student was to come to a board right now, they would be able to move the bird wherever they want. But you may not want that on your particular slide. You may want to lock it. So if I click on it, go to my drop-down and say lock in place, now, even if I click on it, it will not move. As easy as it is to set the lock in place, I can also unlock it. So by clicking on the bird and clicking on the lock and say unlock, it's no longer locked. Pretty simple and straightforward. So clicking on the drop-down box again, I can flip the bird if I want to the left, to the right. Let's flip them again, up and down. I have that feature. In addition, I can order the bird, meaning I can bring it to the front or bring it to the back. For instance, let's say I have the bird here, and you see that it's behind this image. If I click here, let's flip him to the right, and let's change the order. Let's send him to the back. You'll see that it brought the other one forward. So you can just change and reorder things if you'd like. Some other things that you can do, if I wanted to, let me click on this bird. If I wanted to, I can link it. Let's say I wanted to link it to the Audubon Society or, to some other website. I can just add the URL here. So I could do www.audubon or, I don't know, it could be, Turtleback Zoo, whatever it may be. I could certainly do that right there. The other thing that I can do, okay, so to add sound, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the drop down, go down to sound, and I'm going to use my microphone that's built into the laptop that I'm using, and I'm going to click start recording. Tweet, 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 tweet. Okay, so you can see right here, here's my time, and I stopped the recording, and now I'm going to attach it. Now, I need little icons in the corner of my images so I know if there's sound attached. But if you would prefer not to have that little speaker in the corner of your image, you could just say object, and when you tap on the object, it will make that noise. But my preference is to have that little symbol to let me know that that sound is there. And now you can hear it because I clicked on it. Okay? Very easy and simple. Again, I'm going to click on the drop down, and I'm going to now go down to properties. And here I can do an entire object transparency as opposed to just singling out certain sections of the bird or the object that I wanted to make transparent. I can do that right here. So by simply clicking and dragging, you can see the bird is fading away. So just another function that you can do from the drop down. And that is it. So this is part 2, and get ready for part 3.